Hello, and welcome to the Podcast of Steel. Here, I share news, reviews, my adventures, interviews, and more. You can always expect some Superman content from this show, but I'm a lover of all things geeky, so you never know what you're going to get. Now, let's leap into action with a brand new episode of the Podcast of Steel. Hello again. Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel here, and this is episode 7 of the Podcast of Steel. First of all, can you tell any difference in my voice? I have got a nice new microphone, and it's fancy. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but I'm happy with it. I wanted a little upgrade for the show, and it's here. I like it. It should hopefully make me sound a bit better. It might not improve my quality of vocabulary or me tripping up over my own words, but it is here. I like it, and I'm looking forward to speaking through it some more. I digress. This is episode 7. This is a special. This is my review of Portsmouth Comic-Con 2023. The time is 1842. The Comic-Con ended 40 minutes ago. I'm home. I'm still smiling. My legs are tired. My bags are heavy. I bought so much things. All the things. All the comics. All the toys. Henry Cavill came home with me. How's that for a clickbait title? There was a Superman Henry Cavill standout that was calling my name all weekend. And as I was getting ready to go home, I was pretty much convincing myself to buy it. I even put out a Twitter poll. And for everybody that voted yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Your thoughts and well wishes mean the world to me. Thank you so much for encouraging me to spend my money on another Henry Cavill standout. But it is different from the one that I already have. So yes, Portsmouth Comic-Con 2023 was a whirlwind of excitement, of laughter, of smiles, of selfies and photographs and photo shoots, panels, quizzes, meetups. It's always over so quickly. And over the next few days, I will have a come down. I will be sad. I will be happy, yet sad. But also looking forward to next year's already. I'm already impatient for Comic-Con 2024. Over the last few months, I've been speaking with Nick and Kurt, who are two of the heroes that make Portsmouth Comic-Con happen. There are many heroes that work at the con. Many that I got to thank over the last 2 days to explain that there are so many cogs in a well-oiled machine that make that machine work. And all those volunteers and people that work for the Portsmouth Guildhall and those that work for Portsmouth Comic-Con, those behind the scenes on the marketing team, on the media team, everybody there makes this event a success. But I've been working closely with Nick and Kurt, and it has been a joy to see them work over these last few days and see them see the fruits of their labour, as it were. Is that the right phrase? I think so. I'm still tripping up over my words. I am very, very tired and over emotional and over happy. Maybe I should have waited to record this later, but I wanted to speak about this moment as soon as possible because I cannot stop talking about this con. And on this episode, I will share some interviews with some people that were at the event, some people that travelled, some people that were reporting from the event like me. And it was a joy to listen to the other reasons why people like this event so much, why it stands out from the other cons, and what we've seen over the last few years when it started in 2018 and where it is now. I asked the question of where do you think this con will be in 5 years' time to some people, and they gave some fantastic answers. This event is one of my favourites. You know this by now. I've not stopped talking about it for months. And I got to experience this event this weekend with some wonderful people. And it made the event much more enjoyable. Normally with Portsmouth Comic-Cons, I will have a few meetups throughout the day with friends, and it's always great. But this weekend it was pretty much the Saturday was spent with friends and bloggers walking around the con. And today was my Geek of Steel day, arranging interviews and podcasts and speaking with creators and artists and writers and people that were selling their goods in Artist Alley and in all the many comic villages. So today is often my busiest day, but I had a fantastic afternoon and morning because I was there first thing each day. I went out with my trusty recorder, my dictaphone, and recorded some interviews and some of my initial thoughts. But the bottom line is, I am so incredibly happy right now about this con, about what I've experienced over the last 2 days, how I've enjoyed seeing cosplayers and families and fans of fandoms come together in a safe, entertaining environment where they can talk about their passions, where they can embrace their passions and they can add to their collections, and they can step out of comfort zones with things like cosplay and arts and crafts and show off what they love. It is a beautiful event to watch people enjoy their time. And the Portsmouth Comic-Con, sitting on those steps on the Guildhall Square and seeing everybody have such a fantastic time was a joy. It's where I sat when I needed to catch my breath or recharge my phone or plan my next event. But just seeing everybody come and go was beautiful. It's truly beautiful. It's one of my favourite things to do is people watch at a Comic-Con. You will not only see some fantastic and unique cosplays, but you will see people living in the moment and enjoying each other's company and enjoying an event like Portsmouth Comic-Con. If I keep talking this way, I'm going to get sad and nostalgic, but it makes me so happy to talk about, and it's why this con means so much to me, and why I was more than happy and honoured to help out when I was asked to appear on Express FM and be on the Express FM panel to talk about podcasts. That was so much fun, and I want to do more of that in the future, where I'm able to talk about what brings me joy and possibly along the way teach people about how they could do it themselves. It was an honor, as I said, but it was also very, very nice to be asked questions from people that want to get into podcasting. And I want more of that in the future. So more panels will be happening. And the other event, the one that I was quite nervous about, was the Portsmouth Comic-Con Comic Villain Quiz that I actually did help co-host with Nick, one of the organisers. That was so much fun. Being on the stage together with microphones, sharing some banter, and entertaining those that wanted to come and play a quiz and win some prizes. And there were some fantastic prizes. And again, that was a fun moment. A little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm used to speaking into a microphone that is on a table. This one here, for example. Not holding it and speaking to people in a live audience fashion. But the Geek of Steel took over in that moment, and I had a fantastic time, and I don't think the answers were too hard, but some were challenging. Maybe on a later episode I will host another quiz with all of you, and I will use the same questions. But I've written down some of the my thoughts about this weekend and what I got up to and what I saw. I've got hundreds upon hundreds of pictures and videos with cosplayers and DC Comics characters and villains and the heroes. And all I want to do is to just go and do it all again. So much fun. So much fun. And I hope other people that went this weekend, whether it was one day or both days, that they feel the same way. Maybe it was their first con. Maybe it was their 20th con. I just hope that everybody that attended had a great time. There are forms on the Portsmouth Comic-Con Guildhall website where you can leave feedback. And what I've learned about the organisers of this event is that they genuinely listen to every concern, every criticism, whether it be positive or negative or constructive. They listen to what the people are experiencing, and it helps the experience become better. And that is what a Comic-Con should be, an experience, not just a place where you go, spend money on a ticket, and then go inside and spend money on everything else. This con has comics at the root of it all. From year one, when I found out the amazing comic guests that were going to be attending and travelling from all around the world to this event. And it's still masses of comics. As I'm looking at the bag that is on my bed, that is filled with comics and books and toys and artwork and stickers. It's all comic related. It is all to do with comics, this event. Wherever you go, whatever room, hall or arena you go into, you can find comics. You can find something that is about comics. And I absolutely love that. And I had a great time speaking with a few comic stores, some companies that sell comics in new and interesting ways. And some will actually be on the podcast soon, talking about their collections and businesses. I think in all I've arranged about 7 or 8 podcasts today for the future with people with very interesting careers, comic book writers and people that own Batmobiles and people that enjoy their passions and have made it into a career. I will be speaking with writists and the artists that were at Portsmouth Comic-Con who I started conversations with. I love speaking with the people in Artist Alley, and sometimes it's difficult to not necessarily interrupt what they're doing, but to wait for the right moment. Sometimes they might be working on a commission or some artwork for a paying customer. So those are the moments when I don't really want to disturb them. So I would normally sort of hover around and wait for that initial introduction and then have a chat. And one of those people that I did speak with today was Mike Collins, a DC Comics artist and writer. And it was a fantastic chat with him about his work, especially one of the Superman Returns graphic novels that he worked on. And hopefully soon, we did talk about it, Mike will be appearing on the podcast of Steel to share with me his origin story and to talk about Superman Returns and DC Comics and his vast back catalogue of artwork that he has created over the years. We shared, he told me a few stories about the Superman Returns book that was very interesting. And I think I've made notes, mental notes and physical notes for that conversation that will be happening at a later date. But wow, that man has got some interesting stories and I can't wait to speak with him. And yeah, that's what I do on the normally the last day of a con, is that I will interact with the guests and arrange interviews and arrange chats. And I record interviews whilst walking around. So I've got about 5 or 6 interviews to share with you today. And I just loved hearing what people had to say about this con. They all mirrored my feelings, technically. And they talked about what they love about this con and how it is so special and how it's going to do so much in the future. It was a fun 24/48 hours of being at the con. I've not had much sleep. I've got all of my steps in. I'm going to sleep very well tonight. But I needed to get on here and just talk about this magical con and share with you some of the interviews that I had. And some of the recordings. I did record on the go. My excitement is probably very noticeable in those audio clips, but I will share those with you It is Saturday, the 3rd of June, and it is 6:30. Today is the day. Portsmouth Comic-Con is happening, and I couldn't be happier. I love this event. I've shared it a lot over the years, and I'm so glad that it is back, and that the weather is absolutely glorious for it. I've had a few hours sleep. I'm possibly overexcited for the day, and and I'm ready for it. And I'm really proud to be helping out more this year and honoured. I will be on a panel today talking about podcasting, and later on I will be co-hosting a comics quiz with some of the event's organisers, and that is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. This event means so much to me. It's local, it's in the hometown. My commute is wonderfully easy and short, but it's an event that is just so perfect as a Comic-Con. The organisers really put a lot of thought into this each and every year to improve it and see what works and what doesn't. And they're really listening to the audience to find out what they want. And they are constantly evolving as a con, whilst also holding on to the roots of it all, trying to keep it organic, trying to keep it fun, wholesome, and a family experience. Today, it's going to be, for a lot of people, their first day, their first time at a Comic-Con. So they won't know what to expect, and they're going to have a great time. And for many others, it will be their favourite place to be at, a Comic-Con. We all love these events, and we all go for different reasons. We go for the comics, we go for the games, we go for the cosplay, we go there to meet our friends. And for those people as well, they're going to have a great day, because there is so much to do at this event. And I will try my very best over the next 2 days to record as much as I can. There will be photographs, videos, and recordings. And also I will try and record my panel with Express FM, where I will be talking about how to get into podcasting. And also that quiz, that comics quiz that will be happening on the main stage. I'm excited for that. That's going to be really fun. But right now, I need to get ready. I've got a bag full of comics, and yeah, I've had one coffee already. I'm already bubbly. I'm already excited. It's going to be a great day. I can't wait. And you will all be coming with me for the ride. I have arrived at Portsmouth Comic-Con. The queues are outside. Everyone is about to come in. As I arrived about 2 hours early because I was very eager, the Batmobile that I'm looking at right now was coming off a ramp. It is impressive and quite intimidating to stand next to. I'm staring at it right now, and it is a thing of beauty. And I found out it is road legal, so I'm going to ask very nicely and see if I can get a lift home later on today.
Hi there, my name's James Waterfield, and Luke has come to visit me at my stall. It's called Lawn of the Dead, and we're over in the Jurassic Zone. So in the Jurassic Zone, obviously I've got a load of my macabre sculptures out, but we're doing dinosaur painting, which has been really, really popular. I've made loads of dinosaur eggs that the kids are painting for free, and they're taking them home. So those very kind guys, Nick and Kurt, have employed me to run a workshop over here, and it's been really, really busy. It's been great fun and a lovely sunny day.
What do you think about Portsmouth Comic-Con, James?
I think it gets better every year. It's really, really well done, and I do a lot of Comic-Con, so I go around the country, and this is a really, really good, friendly local Comic-Con, and it's a bit difficult to explain to people who don't go to as many Comic-Cons as I do how friendly, how the guys have really thought about, you know, making it good value for money.
There we go. And now I'm here with Aaron Watches. Aaron, local boy, back down at Portsmouth Comic-Con for day 2. Have you been?
Yeah, really good, really good. Really been enjoying the weekend so far.
It's, you know, it's like a holiday for us, even though it's in our hometown. because that, as I keep saying, the commute is perfect, and it makes, I don't know about you, but it makes me proud to be, from down here.
100%. Yeah, I think the community kind of feel from the event is key, and I think that's definitely something that you get from being from Portsmouth, really.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not music, it's football. It's going to be Comic-Cons, which makes me very, very proud. So it's day 2. My legs are still tired, but they're still pushing me on. I'm still making my way around the event. It's hard to pick out highlights for me. I've always enjoyed speaking with comic creators and buying new comics. But for you, what have you enjoyed picking up over the last few days?
Well, this has been my first proper con, which is an interesting thing for me. So I'm kind of glad it was a local one.
Great.
It was my first attempt at it. Walking around, seeing all the cosplayers, seeing all the vendors and stuff like that, and I think the big thing that Portsmouth have done is generally kind of made a massive kind of inclusive kind of space for people. So you've got the really kind of movie quality kind of cosplayers, but then you've got the on a shoestring budget cosplayers walking around, which is really nice to see. And there's no judgment around, which I think is really nice. And with the vendors, everyone's happy to talk to you. This is the thing I've found is when I've been walking around and talking to the comic book creators or the artists, everyone is really, really excited to kind of talk to you and talk about their product. And I feel like that's something that you lose at bigger conventions and bigger kind of things. And Portsmouth really kind of hits the nail on the head with those sort of things.
It does. It makes it a lot more personal. I mean, we've managed to step away and find a quiet spot. The Guildhall in Portsmouth is huge, and I had no idea how many rooms there are and how many different layers, but they're using every space they can for something else, whether it be a panel or a games room or an arcade. There's vintage games about as well. So we've actually just come down a corridor to have a quick private recording session, and a couple of Doctor Who's have walked past us.
Yes,
and
which was quite exciting.
Which was quite nice and surreal. That's sort of apologies for interrupting the recording, but it's been a fantastic weekend yet again, and I can't wait for it to come back. Since 2018, it's really progressed, and it's only getting bigger and better, and I can't wait to see what happens next year and the year after. But why do you think, we've talked about why this stands out, Aaron, why is it that this would bring you back for another year? What have they done differently here?
I think what would bring me back is the accessibility of it all. I feel like everything's included within the ticket price. They're not trying to charge you for extra things as you're walking around the venue. Yeah, okay, there's extra things you can pay for, but it's not an obligation to do so. There's so many experiences that you can take part in. Like, for example, this year we got the Doctor Who experience and the walkthrough, which was really good to see all the props and stuff like that.
A BBC quality experience.
It really,
so many
really
costumes, some scary statues. Multiple TARDISes.
Yes.
Is that the plural for TARDISes? TARDI?
TARDI.
But it was brilliant exhibition. Same as the Star Wars zone. Walking through
the
that.
Star Wars zone was really good. And really immersive as well, I feel like especially with all the helmets you could see
and
tied
lots
up.
of characters full on speaking in character as well. Even hello there.
Yes.
We got a few of those as we walked through. But yeah, it's experiences, as you said. It's that is all included in the price, which I love.
Yeah, and I think just the kind of community aspect of it all. I feel like, there's no nastiness to anything. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone's here for a good time. That might be because of the sun. At the same time, it's been a very hot, sunny weekend.
Very sunny weekend.
But yeah, definitely would draw me back in just that kind of community aspect. Of the con.
I mean, that's it. I think everyone comes here knowing what to expect, but a lot of people, it's their first time coming to a con. And if it's your first time coming to this con, it will make you addicted for the next ones. But there we go. Thanks very much, Aaron.
No worries.
I am Richie, known as the Planetary Pilot on social media. So I do YouTube videos, just starting to venture into TikToks as well, which is a bit of a new thing for me. And just really enjoying being at a con. I love these events. I love Comic-Cons. They're always so much fun, so vibrant, so full of energy. There's such a wonderful thing to come and film and really, really enjoy the experience. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here.
What's been some of your highlights this year, Richie?
It's always got to be cosplay costumes and just the imagination that goes into it. And I will always try to start my filming day by just standing at the entrance and just watching the crowds coming in and just seeing just the level of detail and immersion that people have created. Just so good and so imaginative and creative. It's brilliant to see.
And it's like across the board as well. You've got Disney, you've got Marvel, you've got DC.
Exactly.
It's all here.
Exactly, and that's one of the things as well. It doesn't matter if you're a Star Wars fan, a Marvel fan, DC, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, whatever it is that you like, there is something here for you, and that's what I love so much.
Yeah, there's a Harley Quinn Ghostbuster today.
Yes.
I've never seen that mashup before.
Yes.
But it works.
It works
really
beautifully. It's really, really good. I love it.
Portsmouth Comic-Con, why do you think it stands out from other cons up and down the country?
So I've done a few, particularly along the south coast. So others that have been over in Eastbourne and Worthing as well, Brighton, and more towards sort of Southampton way, and then up in London as well at MCM. Portsmouth stands out to me just because I find that the energy is just so much more, it's just so vibrant, and it's very inclusive. And also, a lot of the times you can go to these conventions and it's one big open space and it's all just kind of mashed together. Whereas with this, I feel like you can spread yourself out, and there's so much to see because of that, that you're here all day. You can't possibly get bored because there's always something new and something different to find.
That's it, yeah. It's day 2 today, and there's still stuff I need to see and things
That's it.
that I didn't buy yesterday that will still be bought today.
Absolutely.
there's a lot, but I mean, that's what I like about this event, is that there's things here that are varying prices.
Oh, yeah.
I've bought some bargains today that are for like £1 each. I bought some things that were slightly more expensive.
Yeah.
But that's what you do at a con. This is for some people, this is a day out, a holiday, as it were, from the real world. So it's always good to spend and treat yourself a little bit. And as I always say, you can always earn more money.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the fun part of it.
I just try, as long as I don't get in too much trouble with the wife, I'm normally okay.
That's it. Good spot. So say in 5 years' time, what do you think Portsmouth Comic-Con is going to be like? Hopefully it'll still be here. I'm pretty sure it will be. But what do you think? How will it evolve over the next 5 years?
I think at the moment they kind of build themselves as being one of the biggest in the South Coast. I think it's going to end up being one of the bigger ones in the country. I think it will be more of a nationwide event. I think we're already seeing that this year. There's a few bigger names that are coming with guests, and it's starting, in my opinion, to really rival the kind of the big cons. I hate name dropping MCM, but that's the one I always kind of see as being the biggest.
It's one of the big ones. Yes.
Absolutely, and I think that Portsmouth year on year is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and is catching up to that level really. So I think it's great to see how it evolves and how much more popular and bigger it becomes, and everyone comes back. That's the great thing. This year I've seen so many people that I met last year, yourself included, that you become friends with them and you love to see them and catch up with them, and it becomes a massive social gathering, which is just it's brilliant.
Meeting up with people, it is great. So where can people find you online, sir?
So with me I've got to try and remember all my handles now.
Well done.
I had to look this up beforehand because they're all different. So on Twitter it's @planetary_pilot. And on TikTok, it's @ThePlanetaryPilot, all one word. And on YouTube, it's @ThePlanetaryPilot, all one word. You can just search Planetary and Pilot, and you'll probably find me. My logo is pretty distinctive. It's basically a Pixar ball with 2 capital P's in the middle of it. So.
Wonderful. Richie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you next year at Portsmouth Comic-Con.
Absolutely. Brilliant. I'll be here.
I am here with Vernon, the official photographer for Portsmouth Comic-Con, who's been on his feet for the last 2 days, taking photographs of cosplayers, events, celebrities, and it's taken some time to sit down, finally, to have a little chat. Vernon, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Luke. I've really enjoyed my weekend. It's been a fantastic time. I've met loads of brilliant people, all dressed up. Had some fantastic images, which I'm sure the Guildhall and the Comic-Con team are going to be really happy with. It's been just a blast. It's been hot,
Very hot. Very hot weekend.
But it's been good, and I've had such a good time.
It's my favourite event. It's one that I wait for all year round. You've been here since day one back in 2018. How have you seen this particular con evolve over the years, Vernon?
Well, I mean, over the years it's got bigger and bigger. But the thing that I like about it is, even though it's got bigger, it hasn't changed in its attitude. So it's stayed friendly all the time. The fact that it's sort of like set up around comics themselves and the comic book artists, and having been to a few other cons, not officially as a photographer, but been to a few other cons, they don't seem as friendly. The artists here seem to want to take the time, talk to people, and really enjoy talking about their work and showing their work as well.
And that's it, yeah. There's been lots of Comic-Cons that I've attended over the years, but this one's got, it's a phrase that's used a lot these days, but there's a lot of heart here.
Yes.
There's a lot of personality. There's a lot of everything that we all love about Comic-Cons. What's been some of your favourite costumes over the years?
Oh, now there's an interesting one. I think, actually, every year there's some really good Iron Mans, or Iron Men, I should say, Iron Men. Spideys have been really good, actually. There was a father and son last year who came as Spider-Man. And this year they're back. I think the father is Iron Man and the son's Spidey again.
Nice.
And actually that's a really nice thing about being to each of the cons. I keep seeing the same faces coming back again and again and again. And yeah, I mean, sometimes in the same costumes, sometimes different ones. They come up to me and say, "Oh, you took my photo last year," or whatever. I don't recognise them because they're obviously someone else this time. But yeah, really good fun.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge part about this event is the cosplay and the families and everyone that comes for the first time or, multiple visits. It's a place where everyone normally will come back year after year. Say, for example, what do you think this con might look like in 5 years' time?
Well, now that's an interesting one because I think just about at the moment they've filled up about every single space that they can do. So where they go next, I don't know. I mean, we've got the council building opposite, but I'm not sure whether they could go in there. We've got the park over the way there. Whether there's opportunity there, who knows? Yeah, I can only see it getting bigger and better. But in getting bigger, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go.
Well, there's a lot more to come, I think, in the next few years. And Vernon, I'm looking forward to seeing you here photographing. So thank you very much for your time today, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, Luke. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
As you can hear the sounds of the Guildhall clock in the background, it is 5 o'clock. Day 2 is almost complete at Portsmouth Comic-Con. My feet are rather tired. My bank account has taken a beating. I'm currently looking at a cardboard cutout of Henry Cavill that somehow has decided that it needed to come home with me. I've got a backpack filled with comics and toys. I've got an extra bag filled with more comics and more toys. And quite honestly, I couldn't be happier. Portsmouth Comic-Con means so much to me and so many others now. Every single person that I've spoken to today, whether they are workers, volunteers or guests of the Comic-Con, have had nothing but good things to say about this event that is clearly a project of passion to so many people. There are so many cogs in the machine that is Portsmouth Comic-Con, and every single person has made it a success. And they should all feel proud. I've been trying to thank as many people as I possibly can, and thank you cards will be being sent out tomorrow. I'm going to be smiling for a long time to come. This event is very important to the lovers of comics and me. Lovers of cons, lovers of cosplay, families and friends who meet up at events such as this. It's a beautiful event, and it is a wonderful thing to see when all these people come together to share their passions, to share what means the world to them. And I honestly can't wait until next year when it's going to happen all over again. I have been Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel. This has been Portsmouth Comic-Con 2023. And I'm ready for my bed. And that was my weekend at Portsmouth Comic-Con. I could have recorded so much more. I wanted to as well. But that's the thing about this particular weekend. For me, you constantly get lost in moments all over the place. Whether it be speaking with cosplayers or going to a panel or going to Speaker's Corner or just walking around. It's living in the moment. Yes, you have moments where you take photographs or you take video you want to share and share that moment with your friends. But for me, I feel I could have sat down and just talked with everybody and recorded their thoughts about this weekend. But what I really just enjoyed doing was sitting down and speaking with people about what they love and why this event is one that is being loved by so many. It's a brilliant time, and I'm glad the people that I went with had just as much fun as I did. Walking around this con and seeing so many smiles, seeing some children in some fantastic cosplays, seeing adults proud of their creations, seeing some truly impressive homemade cosplays, walking around the Star Wars exhibition, walking around the Doctor Who exhibition, which was almost at sort of a BBC quality museum. Somehow they managed to change the stage into a Doctor Who museum. There were multiple Daleks and TARDI, and costumes and statues and props. And these were costumes and props that are owned by people that love the franchise, that want to share their collections with other fans from all around the country and possibly all around the world. And the Joker Squad that were in charge of this fantastic Star Wars exhibit with more props and more cosplayers. And I've never hugged so many Wookiees in one weekend. And that was a sentence I would never thought I'd say. But I'm just looking back and thinking about all the fun that I had this weekend. And I hope those thoughts and memories are in my head for weeks to come. Months to come. Years to come. Until the next Comic-Con comes around. And I can make more memories and enjoy more escapism with the things that I love. I'm so ready for next year. The tickets are on sale already. I know people are already itching to get back. And to find out what will happen next year. What will the theme be? What will be the big thing next year? That is what I have loved since 2018, when this con began, is that it is constantly evolving. New things are being introduced. New ways of entertaining the masses are being tried out. It is always looking for new ways to make this experience a smooth-running, entertaining weekend for those that want to come along. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully helping out more with the next Comic-Con. I want to be part of this machine that is such a passionate and positive project. I've seen it grow over the years, and it's been an absolute joy to see it and to see it transform. Nick and Kurt, who I've spoken to countless times over the upcoming months, and Kurt was on the podcast recently talking about Portsmouth Comic-Con, and I've managed to see them before and after the con this weekend, hearing their thoughts, listening to their feedback, sharing my feedback with them. And whenever I do get to talk to them, it's always such a pleasure, because you can see it in their face when they talk about this weekend, what it means to them, what it means to Portsmouth Guildhall. This isn't a company, this is a charity. All the money that this particular event makes goes back into creating better events. I want nothing but the best for this con, but more importantly, the people that I see at the con. I want them all to have a good time. And this weekend, all I saw was smiling faces. And boy, I'm already missing it. And I want to go back and do it all again. This podcast was recorded as soon as I got back from the con. I got home, had a shower, sat down, and I needed to talk about what it meant to me. And now I've got, let's count them. I've got a backpack, a large bag, another bag, and a huge Henry Cavill cutout to go through. I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten most of the things that I may have bought this weekend, because I had a few moments today where I treated myself. There were moments across the weekend when I encouraged other people to buy things that they wanted. And today I encouraged myself. But as always, when you go to these events, you must have a budget and also comfortable shoes. But I've got a few things to put on display, some comics to read, some things to add to my collection, and some things to share with you all. And That's what I love about Comic-Cons. It's the sharing. It's the sharing of passions. It's the sharing of happiness. It is the sharing of the things that bring us joy in an environment which is safe, welcoming, inclusive, and just a beautiful, beautiful place. And I can't wait for next year. Portsmouth Comic-Con, thank you so much for all the hard work you've done, for letting me be involved, and for putting on this event. This podcast is pretty much a love letter to you all. And I can't wait to write another one next year. Because this relationship that I have formed with the Portsmouth Comic-Con is going nowhere fast. I've been Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel. And if you were there this weekend, you understand why I am so giddy with joy right now. And I only hope that you can experience a con like this in your life. And if you do, come to Portsmouth Comic-Con next year and you will see me there. And you will understand why right now you can hear the smile in my voice. I'm Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel. You can find me everywhere. Just look for the Geek of Steel. Google me. You'll find me. Please rate, comment, like, subscribe, and share this video. No, it's a podcast, Luke. I'm tired. Please forgive me. It's been a magical 48 hours. This podcast will be scheduled soon, and I will be hitting my pillow and sleeping like a baby and dreaming about the fantastic weekend that I have had. I will be back soon with a brand new episode of the Podcast of Steel, and some of these future episodes will also include guests that I met at this year's event. Stay safe, stay super, and I will be back soon with a brand new episode of the Podcast of Steel.